Elon Musk now has control of Twitter, and big news from Tesla and BMW. If you think the world is falling apart, yes, yes it is. Hey everyone, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. We got to jump in this right away. Elon Musk has tweeted out some pretty big news. Let's take a look at this stuff together here. You can see here, this is Elon Musk. It's on October 31st, just in the morning here. He says, our footprint is about to explode in Europe. We are now making a deal to buy BMW at 101 a share because I like the Model X, and X1 that is, and I think it's a reference to Roman numerals, right? X being 100 and 1 being 1, so 101 BMW is the news coming from Twitter here. And you can see here, this is Elon Musk tweet out again. Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson are on board with the BMW. It's like, what? It's like all these rich people getting together. And you know, we have to put these sort of cryptic tweets together. It looks like Musk wants to buy BMW with Tesla money, but he's going to get help from Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson. And he tweeted out later again, our first Tesla BMW model will be called the Cyber Doge. What? And will be our first vehicle with FSD 2.3. So, you know, you got this Tesla, you got BMW, you know, Cyber Doge is probably a reference to the Cybertruck. So I think Elon must be really serious about this BMW deal here. And then it looks like here, he also tweeted out, pre-orders on the new Cyber Doge will open up March 1st, 2023. So we got a few more months before we can get our hands on this thing. But, you know, it does seem like it could be a real deal. And here he even tweeted out as well later in the afternoon. You know, if you spell Doge backwards and take away the E, you get God. Oh, and Cyber Doge pre-orders have sold over 100,000 in the first 24 hours. So all this big news coming about all in one day, really, about BMW Tesla merger and Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos involved. And they're going to do some sort of Cyber Doge thing. So as you guys probably figured out, this is all fake news. I had to keep a straight face. But the reason why I mentioned this to you today is, you know, Musk has Twitter, and I get it, guys. I mean, I really get it. And this is sort of why I make these videos, because I really want to, you know, talk about why this is a problem and what's a problem and what's not a problem. So first, the thing that I get is some people really like Elon Musk, and, you know, they're all about freedom of speech, and you know, you can tweet whatever you want, say whatever you want in this world because you have freedom. And one of the things I really want to emphasize with you guys is, as that sort of Twitter thing I was showing you guys, I mean, it's all fake, right? Elon Musk and Tesla aren't going to buy a BMW. There's not going to be a Cyber Doge car. So I know you really want it to be true, but it's just not coming. And, you know, one of the things that you got to do in this world, unfortunately, is learn to navigate information. And one of the big problems is sort of why myself and other people were sort of down on Elon Musk getting Twitter. And yes, he's got a lot of money. He can do whatever he wants with his money. That's perfectly true. He can do whatever he wants with his money. But, you know, with great power, you know, the Spider-Man thing comes great responsibility. And I think it's worth mentioning that Elon Musk, because the story we've been covering, actually tweeted out a fake story regarding Nancy Pelosi's husband. And we're talking about, you know, an attack in someone's home, like actual violence. And you're talking about a rich person who owns a social media company tweeting out essentially fake news. And, you know, this is sort of why this stuff matters, is that, you know, because some people say, oh, no, this is all about, you know, left wing, right wing, right? It's all about politics, stuff like that. This is the way I see things, guys. And I'm being real truthful with you. I'm fine with you disagreeing with me on things. I am totally fine with that, right? But what I'm not cool with is just like putting out random fake stuff, you know, whenever, you know, and especially when you have influence on other people, you need to be really careful about the stuff that you say. It is, you know, and even if you just have influence on just one other person, like if you're a parent, and you guys probably know this out there who are parents, if you tell your kid something like completely wrong and your kid believes you and then like costs you money, hurts themselves, any number of things, right? Like just for example, let's say you tell your kid, oh, you don't need a driver's license to go drive a car. You can go drive a license at age, you know, 10. And your kid's like, oh, well, my dad told me I can drive it at age 10, and they start driving. I mean, you guys get the point of this, is that it can be very dangerous. And I'm just giving you one example. And unfortunately, already with and this is, you know, why this matters, you know, Elon was already tweeting out essentially fake news about Paul Pelosi, and he has already removed the tweet because he knows it's fake, right? And this is one of the things that I also want to emphasize as well, is, you know, someone like Elon, yeah, he's a smart guy, right? I'm not going to say he's not smart. He's a smart guy. But, you know, in my opinion, he should just focus on Tesla and SpaceX. That's a lot. Just one company is a lot for any person. It doesn't matter how smart you are, right? I consider myself a smart person, but I know I have limits. Everyone, all of us have limits. The same way, like I give you an example. Like we all know, say LeBron James is a great athlete, right? He's a really good athlete. But does that mean he can play in the NBA and the NFL at the same time with no rest? No, of course not, right? People need rest the same way that Elon Musk should just focus on running Tesla, and even SpaceX is a lot, but just like focus on one thing. And now you're taking this on this other thing, and it's frankly dangerous. The other thing is too is like kind of why I mentioned this to you guys. I want you to understand that when Elon was pumping Doge, and I guess still is, there were lawsuits against him, right? And one of the things that you have to understand, I do social media all the time, guys, and I was professor for 10 years. And when you're in a position of influence, I do YouTube, right, all this time, you have to understand that there's actually people out there that listen to you and believe every single word that you say, or they take everything that you say as like, I have to act now kind of thing, right? Because they want to be like you, the same way that, and I understand that people want to be like Elon. I totally get that, right? He's really rich. He has like 10 kids, and some people that's like a fantasy for them. And one of the things I always mention to you guys, Elon and I went to the same school. I know people who know Elon. I don't know Elon personally. And the reason why I always mention it, sometimes people say, oh, Chris, you're just so jealous. You're just so No, I mention it is because I've been in these circles. I know how these people are. They are real human beings. They are real people. And when you've been in the circles, right, when you go to the same school, these kind of people, it sort of like makes it feel more like real people opposed to people who idolize their heroes and they seem like superhuman. Elon Musk is not a superhero, right? And I mean this real. He's not a superhero. But some people think he is and that he can do anything. And I just want you to understand that this is really dangerous. And Elon, even himself, doesn't realize the damage that he's put on people. He thinks that's all a game and it's all funny because one of the things that happens is that, for anyone in this world, if you're Elon, you just think, oh, everyone's, smart like me. Everyone has a sense of humor like me. And therefore, they must know that, the stuff I'd say about Doge is funny, haha. But you guys know that some people take this stuff seriously. And, I put out these other videos and just sort of share this. Like, for example, I made this video the other day about, this is a stock mode, Keenan Grace and Larry Jones. And basically, they're all scammers. And they pump Dogecoin and they pump Shiba Inu and just like all this garbage. And the way they scam you is they convince people, and they've been running the scam for a long time. They convince people that Apple was a penny stock, Amazon was a penny stock, and Tesla was a penny stock. Penny stock, like, trading for 10 cents kind of thing. And frankly, it's untrue. It's completely untrue. And they run the scam over and over again. And the reason why the scam works is because you look at the Google chart. The chart is adjusted for stock splits. And unfortunately, there's people out there that don't understand what a stock split is. It is a reality. I know if you're watching this channel, you probably understand what this stuff is. But you have to understand there are people who don't, right? Not everyone is like you. Not everyone understands the same way that when Elon makes a joke about Dogecoin, maybe not everyone understands it's a joke, right? But that is a responsibility. The same way that if you're a parent or you're a teacher or anyone on YouTube and say, hey, you tell everyone, oh, it's so safe to drive, to drink and to drive at 10 years old. You can totally do it. Everybody does it, right? Some people might actually believe you. And that's why you got to be careful when you're in a position of influence. And especially something like Elon Musk is like with a bazillion followers, probably has over 1 million followers, right? And so whatever he tweets out, there's going to be people who see it. The same way that these guys, and frankly, some people are completely irresponsible, like these guys, essentially. And the reason why I mention these guys is because guys, you don't realize, I see comments from people and they don't understand. There are people out there that are not as smart as you watching this that just don't understand. And this is why you got to be really careful. And this is why I have to make these kind of videos to really emphasize the importance of being responsible of things you say and be responsible for the things you put out there. And don't just put a bunch of just random stuff. I'm cool with people having different opinions, but just random stuff and fake stuff and false stuff is completely not good, right? So for example, this person here, this is just 7 hours ago, named Larry H, is saying, this is straight from Google. The closing price for Apple in 2002 is 22 cents. On December 31st, 2002, it was 35% down for the year. The last price is 139. What am I missing? Like literally this person doesn't understand even when I make a full video explaining very clearly that there's stock splits and how that works and that Apple is not a penny stock. There's people who legitimately don't understand. And this is sort of why I have to make this kind of video is just like, I want you to understand that in the world of social media that we live in today, you got to be really careful out there because there's a lot of people out there that will abuse people who are basically, that's the right word to say. Well, we'll just say they can easily be hurt or easily be influenced. I'll give you a simple example, and and I'm being very real. sometimes I'll get comments from children, and I mean actual legitimate children, like 10, 12 years old, like kind of thing. And children are very impressionable and they don't understand. They don't. And it's nothing, they're not stupid. They're just a child, right? The same way that if you tell a kid, oh, it's safe to eat this kind of thing. Oh, it's safe to drive a car at 10, right? And so I hope you understand why I'm passionate about this issue and why this is important, because even adults, like this person's an adult, right? Jugga Crypto, I don't see the scam, do your own research. Like he's an adult and he doesn't even see it. Like it's not even just about age. It's about just some people don't get it. And this is a lot of things like it's frustrating to me. And this is sort of, I just really want to emphasize why it's dangerous for Elon to say, hey, oh, anyone can put anything that they want on social media. It's a real problem. Here's another one. There's a comment who doesn't understand that Apple was never a penny stock. LMAO, right? Laughing my, A off. Apple was 22 cents in 2002 on December 31st. The nerve of you calling them scammers and fools who believe you are the scammer trying to increase your platform by lying on everyone else, right? Like people actually don't understand the scam, right? The closing price for Apple in 2002 is 22 cents. And you guys understand, this is all untrue. It's all untrue. When you look at the chart of something like an Apple, it looks like it was 22 cents, but it was never traded that low. Google adjusts for stock splits, okay? So I'll just give you a just really simple example. So, earlier this year, Tesla was trading in 1,000. It was just like a few months ago. And if you look at the chart today, I think it says like 200. And you would look at the chart and say, oh, I don't see the 1,000. And this is sort of why I show people a news report that says, hey, Tesla, like literally people were talking about Tesla being 1,000. And now you look at today, you wouldn't see that. But, this is sort of how the world is. If people are predatory, they go out and take advantage of people who don't understand things and are unwilling to look at things. It's really a shame. Here's another example. These are all adults, right? So look at this one. Nicole Harris, an adult. Thank you. That went over my head. That's literally her first sentence, meaning I don't understand. That went over my head. Like literally, she says, I don't understand. I thought they were saying not too late to buy Apple. Stock mode doesn't push crypto, which is completely BS. He totally pushes crypto, right? Like, how does this even make sense? However, he's clear that he sees Ethereum as the future. Like, how does that even make sense? Keenan actually called out Shiba Inu and Coinbase. So for people to think they are pushing anything is odd, especially if you're on their Discord, which is really weird. Okay, so think about this, guys. Like, so she's even like saying, oh, I'm on her Discord, but they don't push anything. But like, the push is that they're pushing you, selling you Discord. Like, this is how bad it is out there. And this is sort of why I get it, right? Some people love Elon Musk, and I get that, right? But you have to understand there are people actually out there who have a very difficult time understanding things, right? They have a hard time maybe knowing if something's a joke. They have a difficult time understanding if someone's scamming you, right? Like this person's like, oh, well, I'm not being scammed. I just bought their Discord. Like, this is how bad it is. And remember, this person didn't think that Stockmo was pushing crypto, right? And literally just 4 hours ago, like he's pushing Dogecoin. I could see it right there with my own eyes, right? And the same with the Larry guy. Now he's pushing Shiba Inu and Volta again, which is like a penny stock. And it's really bad, guys. And this is why I make these videos, is because, and it's so sad because I'll read comments that say, oh, Chris, you're just hating, this Larry, Stockmo, and Keenan. They don't push crypto. They only push blue chip stocks. And I'm just like, what are you guys talking about? So again, I'm cool with you guys having an opinion. I'm cool with anyone having an opinion. But just making up random stuff and sharing like just fake nonsense is just completely unacceptable. And I hope you understand why this is damaging. And again, I can't emphasize enough that there's a couple times when I've had children comment on my posts, and I know because I check the profile and you're like, oh my God, it's a child. And it makes you realize the importance of being responsible on social media, because you just don't know who's watching these things. It may not just be a child. It could be someone who's susceptible to influence, who could have, just in a situation where they're really vulnerable, right? Any number of reasons why people are vulnerable. I give you examples. So this is you can find this for yourself. It's easy to find. This is about experience, essentially on Wikipedia, about why people believe in conspiracy theories. This is one sort of description about it. We'll read through it. I'll make it real slow so you guys understand, and we'll talk about it. So, class structures and a lack of trust of government. Okay, so sort of why people believe in conspiracy theories. The class structure is also likely to influence one's belief in a political conspiracy theory. Those with low income, lack of higher education, or lack of secure employment are more likely to believe in a conspiracy due to general feeling of helplessness. This lack of control is correlated with class. Individuals with higher classes have been proven to feel more in control of their lives employment, education, and standard of living. A low socioeconomic status can generate political and economic anxiety and desire to explain the dire circumstances. That helplessness may lead several to find a psychologically soothing explanation, the idea that a group of government actors is plotting against them. Now, why am I bringing up conspiracy theories? Why am I bringing up Elon Musk? Why am I bringing up Stockmo, Larry, and Keenan? Because it all relates, right? The basic gist of it is that there are people out there, and it's only going to get worse with the recession. There are people out there that don't feel in control of their lives, right? They have a difficulty getting a job, right? They feel like that they sort of have to only work for a certain amount of companies. They don't have many choices, and it's a lot of stress, right? Not having a lot of money, not having a good job is a lot of stress. I really understand that. And sort of what happens is it's way easier to blame someone else. It's way easier to blame the government and these kind of things. Way easier to blame rich people, whatever. And these kind of people, like this sort of Keenan guy, he pushes his narrative over and over and over again that the rich people are trying to cheat you and the rich people are doing this. And in order to get back to the rich people, you need to buy Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. I want you to understand how dangerous this kind of stuff is. And it goes back to, again, people like Elon Musk, right? To him, it's all a joke. It's all a joke because he's wealthy, right? It's all a joke. So he doesn't get that some people are not wealthy. And he just lives off the fame of what, people, they like my tweets, I'm entertaining the people, stuff like that. But there's people who are going to get hurt with this kind of stuff. So I know, my channel is way more serious than other people, but I was a professor for 10 years, and I can't emphasize enough. I worked with children too. I started with Bill Nye the Science Guy. Is like when you have students in the classroom and you realize the impact you have on people's lives, on the things that you say, you are way more careful and way more responsible and try to teach valuable lessons. So anyway, I hope you guys understand that, the whole Elon Musk thing of like controlling Twitter and letting, just free speech reign, it's not for me. For me, it's not about like whether or not other people can have an opinion. I am fine with you having your own opinion, but like spreading misinformation on stuff it is dangerous. It's really, really dangerous. I hope you understand that. And I hope this is really clear. I don't know what to say. I try to, I try to be more clear in my videos, to be slower, I guess, for some people. But unfortunately, there are people out there that won't get it. And one of the reasons why is that they just want to believe what they want to believe. But if you want to do well in this world, if you want to do well in life, live in reality. That's all I have to say. And sometimes people say, well, Chris, why are you so happy all the time and stuff like that? It's because I live in reality. I make friends with people who care about me. I don't try to like make friends with people who don't care about me. That can be very, very damaging. And anyone who's ever been in a bad relationship, and talking about like just not just friends, but say, a relationship where you're trying to like pretend that the person that doesn't love you loves you, it can become really abusive and damaging psychologically. That's just one example. So anyway, I hope you guys understand why this is clear and why it's bad that Elon Musk is already tweeting out, just nonsense conspiracy stuff, and how some people are susceptible to believing anything that they hear on social media. And just to repeat, Tesla is not buying BMW. That's all nonsense. I just wanted to prove a point. Hope you guys understand that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.